You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and Sunny Mount Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of What It Feels Like. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. The wait is agony. My nerves are shot through the roof, and sitting in the small room until the producer is ready to listen to us play is making me an anxious mess. I take advantage of the downtime to head into the bathroom, splashing water on my face and looking at myself in the mirror. If there was ever a time to bring out that alter ego of mine, it'd be now, wouldn't it? That confidence I could only dream of having all the time would surely impress the producers. What's better than someone who knows what they want and isn't afraid to reach out and grab it? The person on the other side of the mirror is shaken up. His eyes aren't that same electric blue I'm used to seeing, instead being dulled out to a depressing gray. I stand up straighter. Now's your moment, Russo. Let's show him we're a star, okay? Let's show him who's number one. My phone's vibrating takes me out of my trance, and I shake my head, returning my focus to the real world. I fish it out of my pocket, expecting it to be Mom or Stella, wishing me good luck. I could use a little "you got this" from a girl right now. I always believe it more somehow. But staring at the phone number on my screen doesn't ease me in the slightest. I let it ring a few times. I stand and stare at that number though. Through time became a name that tugs on my heartstrings every time I hear it. I answer it. Hello? Mylo. Hey. Hi. You doing okay? I know it's been a while. I'm sorry about that. I swallow hard. God, why now? I'm fine. I'm sorry, you caught me at a really bad time. Hey, listen, I know, okay? I know you're pissed. I want to apologize, talk this out, in person. I've had time to think and I'm ready for us to have that conversation. What do you say? Can you come over tonight? Jacob, I can't. Mylo, come on, you can't avoid me forever. You still have my spare key. Please, let's just see each other. I'm in Chicago. What? Chicago? What are you doing there? I'm with the band. We're looking to sign a record deal. Oh. That's really great, Mylo. I'm proud of you. I know I shouldn't care. I've made up my mind that he's no good for me, and yet, hearing him now, why does it feel like everything I was moving on from is coming right back to me? Why can't I just let him go? Thanks. Hey, listen, I have to go. I'll give you back your key when I get back if you want. Yeah, okay. Sure. I wish I could have seen you today. I'm hanging up now. Goodbye, Jacob. Mylo. I press the hang-up button about 10 times. Well after the little red circle disappears from the screen, and I suck in a shaky, shallow breath, letting it out in quick, sporadic spurts. Does he have any fucking idea what it feels like to hear that from him right now? To know what part of him wants me there by his side in his arms tonight? I could try and convince myself it's over, that my heart isn't set on him, and my future plans have crossed him out in a big red X. But how do I forget this? How do I move on from the only form of love I've ever known? I aggressively rub my eyes with more water, shaking my head and looking back in the mirror. His eyes are still gray. The star of the show is nowhere to be found in my reflection. It's still me. I'm still me. And that terrifies me. Not too soon after, someone steps out and tells us the producer is ready to hear us. We all excitedly group up, heading towards the door together. Lizzie grabs hold of my hand and gives it a soft squeeze, looking up at me. Hey, you okay? I'm fine. I offer her my best smile. The look she gives me tells me she knows it's fake. But she just rubs my arm soothingly, nodding in assurance. Good. Give him hell, Russo. Baxter squeezes my shoulder in that reassuring way he does, giving me a smile. A real one. Hitting the game, Russo. Let's do this. I look back at Wyatt, and he just gives me a look. A stare, really. If only I could actually stare back into his eyes. We nod to each other, and with a push of the door, we head inside. Oh, nice. That is a fancy-looking room. It's exactly what I've dreamed of. A large room full of recording equipment I couldn't even begin to understand how to use. Sliders, buttons, keyboards, and dials galore, and it's all very overwhelming, but oh, so exciting. A small room with glass windows separates the area in half. One room for recording, the other room for adjustments to that recording. I've seen how it works in documentaries, sure, but the idea of actually getting to be on that side of the room makes me giddy. Sitting on a sofa is a middle-aged badger, a bored look on his face as he stares down at his phone, not even bothering to look up at us as we enter the room. We just sort of stand there for a few moments looking around and gawking like idiots until he smacks his thighs and stands up in an exasperated sigh. So, you guys are the band Marlon sent in, right? Marlon, Stella's uncle, aka the sweetest man I've ever met. He talked us through the entire procedure with so much detail and claimed over and over how great this producer guy was. Yeah, that's us. Hi, I'm Mylo Russo, and this is my band. Lizzie. Yeah, I know your names. Wisconsin, right? Small town, alternative style, mixed gender, the standard stuff. Any of you guys a minority? I'm gay, and Wyatt's African American. Not that that really matters. In this industry, every single aspect of yourself matters. Marketability is just as important as talent, if not more so. He checks his phone constantly throughout our conversation, as if only half paying attention to us. So, you want to sign a record deal, huh? You know what that entails, I presume. Yes, I've done my research. Every song on the album is written by me. Well, me and Wyatt. Right, songwriting credits. Those are details we won't really get into right now. I'd like to hear your sound first. He takes a step back and collapses onto the sofa again with a huff, giving us an unamused look that makes me seriously start to question my abilities. He certainly doesn't look pleasant. Set up quickly. We got instruments here, soundproofing too. I don't just want to hear you sing and play. I want to see you perform. Give me something to work with. Impress me. Right. It doesn't take long for us to settle into our instruments. We take our usual spots like we would at the bar, and once we're settled in, Baxter gives me a nod to let me know he's ready. I look straight ahead, the only thing in my vision being the producer in front of me. This is it then. Don't fuck it up, Russo. Thank you for having us, sir. We're the dead-end lovers, and we're gonna perform for you now. The usual confidence in my voice when I say that isn't there, and the producer raises his eyebrow just makes me shrink into myself a bit more. I do my best to shake that feeling away, swallowing hard and looking back at Baxter to signal him to start. He gives me a worried look, but nevertheless counts to 3 under his breath and starts the song. It's off. Something's off. I'm hitting my notes, the music is on tempo, and we sound good, great even, but something's definitely off. Is it my energy, my tone? Is it obvious just how nervous, how anxious I am? How unsure I am? As the song continues, I try to get into the groove. The flow of the music I'm so accustomed to feeling when I perform, but it's never been like this. In a small, claustrophobic room with the stakes so high, and no one's ever looked at me like that before with such boredom. I can handle disdain, I can handle apprehension or even disgust, but there's truly nothing worse than being boring. 3 minutes feels like an eternity. The song eventually ends, the echo of the cymbals reverberating in the room as the producer lets out another sigh, giving us a blank stare. Thank you, I say into the mic, hoping it makes him say something in return. Anything at all. Alright, listen guys, you're good. The song is fine. From the sounds of it, you're going for an alternative style, but the outfits on the CD look over the top, like 2000's punk band. It's fine, for the small beach town local gig you guys were doing. Here, though, in the real world, this is nothing. It's basic indie crap that you find on SoundCloud with less than 100 listens. You're stiff, you're anxious. You don't know if you want to do pop or punk or alt or whatever the fuck. It's messy, all over the place, but above all else, it's nothing special. You've got a good voice and decent penmanship, kid, but it's just not good enough. All eyes land on me, the producer, Lizzie, Baxter. I can even feel Wyatt's stare borne to the back of my skull from behind me. A painful silence hangs in the air as I give the smallest of nods and whisper a quiet thank you for the opportunity into the mic. So that's it then. We walk out of the room in more silence. I walk a significant ways ahead, knowing that a touch on the shoulder from any of them would make me burst into tears. I just can't afford that right now. We head straight for the car and we all just sit there. It stinks of disappointment and Cheetos. Let's go get something to eat. Right, I'm starving. Same here. You hungry, Mylo? Wyatt starts the engine, and we roll out into the street. By the time we reach the restaurant, some chain of steaks or something, the pain has morphed into numbness, and any sense of excitement and whimsy for being in Chicago, city of dreams, has left my system. Baxter guides me towards the booth, and we all take our seats. He keeps his distance once we're seated, which for once I appreciate. A peppy waitress comes over and excitedly tells us that there's a 2-for-1 special on drinks. Maybe we should try the Blooming Onion, and ooh, there's 4 of us. There's a special on entrees for 4 people, too. She quickly deflates when she realizes we're in no mood for her energy, though, and she just jots down our orders and leaves. I appreciate this waitress, too. Well, that could have gone better, I won't lie. But I was looking online, and there's a ton of other recording studios here in Chicago. It's already a little late, but I could make a few phone calls, and we can see if anyone's willing to have us for tomorrow. We can go back to the motel, you know, buy some drinks, get a good night's sleep, and I'm not going. To the motel? To any other recording studio, Liz. Her ears flatten a bit. I don't think I've ever talked to her with such venom in my tone. I'm done. You all heard him. I'm just not good enough. So whatever, we tried. We gave it our best shot, and we failed. I failed. Mylo, that isn't... It's fine. I don't need the pep talk. I'm just done. With music, songwriting, performing. It's a long time coming, anyways. Lizzie looks at Baxter, then at Wyatt, who just keeps his gaze on me. Mylo, come on. Is that seriously what you want? To disband the band? She chuckles nervously, knowing how awkward that sounded coming out of her mouth. Why not? What good has it done for us? Look at where we are, in the middle of some foreign city, hundreds of miles away from home, and nothing to fucking show for it. We were already planning on leaving it, and Baxter's not going to be here for much longer, so yeah, I'm serious. I'm not really going anywhere. He mutters this, not really offering as much of an argument, but more so just to fill in the silence. Fine. I know you're upset right now, so maybe a break would do you some good. Let's just enjoy the rest of the trip, okay? Well, fuck that. We all turn to look at him. What? We gotta know. So fucking what? Do you know how many artists got tons of them? Are you seriously gonna throw everything away because of one insignificant no? I'm a bit taken aback by his anger. Wyatt's always such a rock, a pillar of stone-cold seriousness, and hearing him get heated makes my skin crawl. It's not just this, Wyatt, it's everything! It isn't just some insignificant no, that no means something! It means whatever the fuck you want it to mean, Mylo. Haven't we busted our asses off writing songs, looking for venues, and making music? Publicity, all that shit? And look where it's gotten us! We haven't played anywhere else but Arnie's for over a year, and the one time we try and branch out, we get turned down. Face it, Wyatt, this shit isn't going to work out. Maybe it'll work out if you don't quit all of a sudden. This isn't all of a sudden. Wyatt, maybe Mylo's right. We can't exactly keep this up forever. Wyatt stares at Lizzie now. It's impossible to tell just what he's thinking, what he's feeling. Seriously? What? After everything I've told you and everything I've sacrificed to make it here, you're just gonna agree with him and give up too? I would have expected for once you'd take my fucking side, Lizzie, for once. But no, it's always gotta be Mylo first, right? How many plans have you canceled for Mylo's sake? How many times have you blown me off for him? And now the one thing I know you care, and the one thing you know I care the most about, you're still gonna side with him? Wyatt, Forget it. Forget all this. Wyatt turns and gets out of the booth. You win, Mylo. It's over. And he storms out, pushing the glass doors of the restaurant so hard I'm scared he might have cracked them. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Jesus. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!